This is the K-Pop Cast, the show that brings you the best sounds and ideas in K-pop each week. I'm DJ Peter Lowe.
And I'm your PD Nim Michaela. And this week, it's another round of hit replays featuring a culture writer,
Editor-in-Chief at
Cult Scene, and podcast rookie herself is Alexis.
Hi, thanks for having me again. So fun to be here in my second home. My home, basically, now.
Right. I feel like you need no introduction at this point. If you've listened to our show, you know who Alexis is.
I think, like, just going with, like, this rookie training analogy, like, you're doing all your hours, you're getting ready to debut, but you're going to debut with another label. I think is what's going to happen.
Oh,
no. You guys are going to cut me, and then some other label are going to pick me up,
right.
And then I'll be like,
we're going to trade you out.
Yeah. I'm doing my training here.
All right, but first, What are hit replays?
Hit replays are songs we recommend y'all listen to on repeat or replay for the week. And as always, Alexis, you are the guest for today, so you go first.
Well, full disclosure, I did not listen to a lot of K-pop this week. I don't know why. So, last minute assignment, I'm picking Super M's We Do. It just came out, like, literally today, a few hours ago. Yeah, hours ago. But hey, I need to represent. I'm wearing my 10 t-shirt from Super M.
Hey.
And yeah, I think it's just like a fun song. It's funky. It's not really what we generally associate with Super M. When I first heard it, to be honest, like my first reference, other than, the obvious like MJ references and whatever, like I thought this could have been a SHINee song like 5 years ago, like One of One. I mean, Married to the Music. Yeah, that era, or even like Dream Girl. Like it, like I heard it and I was like, this is a SHINee song, but like not what they're doing right now. So like,
right,
because even when Taemin opens a song, I was like, yes, like this is a SHINee song, But it was fun to see Super M doing it because it's not what we associate with Super M. So this is
it's
like
super bright, it's super fun. We've seen really intense concepts from him before this.
And it's basically, like the vocalists coming, like shining through, especially like Kai and Ten. Like we know Baekhyun can like carry the entire operation by himself, but it was like really nice to see Ten shining on a Super M song, which doesn't happen a lot. And it was really weird to see like Taeyong and Mark take like the back burner, but it's still a really fun song. I don't think that I'm gonna be like streaming it like the other bops, No Manners, One, Infinity, Monster. Like I don't think it's up there, but it's a fun little song. It's to sell us life insurance or whatever,
Right. If you guys didn't know, this is part of the campaign that they're doing with Prudential for promoting health and wellness, telling you to go outside and dance, I guess.
Yeah, don't die, because then they have to pay you and your family and your what is it? The people that you're I forget what it's called, but the beneficiaries. There we go.
Your beneficiaries. There you go.
Oh, by the way, this song, like the intro, is totally a rip from The Emotions, The Best of My Love. It just a couple semitones down of that. Anyway.
Hey, I hear it. But it goes in with like the same, like era it borrows from. So it's a fun little song.
Oh, it's very good pick.
What we do.
Yeah, but Peter, what is your hit replay for this week?
Okay, guys, I'm like just so obsessed with this group. Rolling Quartz. Like, ever since one of our listeners recommended them to us, like, I have been down like deep in the rabbit hole. I've studied the biography and background of each of the members, their blood type, and that sort of thing. So, like, that's when you know
who can like donate you blood whenever you need it now.
Yeah, right. Know who to call on. Yeah, I don't even know my own blood type, so there's that. But this song, if I can do my part in helping evangelize this group, yes, they've got their lead single, but they also have this really amazing Dreamcatcher cover of their song Good Night. So if you're into Dreamcatcher or J-rock or anime intro songs in general, I mean, this could be a really good entry point for you to then become similarly obsessed with this group, just as I have.
Yeah.
So listen to this cover by Rolling Quartz.
I love their aesthetic. I love the aesthetic of it all. Like, rock bands aren't really my thing, but like girls doing their thing, mini skirts and everything. I love it.
A legit rock band too. Legitimate like musicians, performers here actually.
I was gonna ask,
riffing off each other.
Did they play? Because I was like looking at the drummer. I was like, is she playing? Do they play their own instruments?
I'll confess, Alexis, I had that very same question when I first started watching them, namely with the drummer. But no, yeah, they are all really playing it. The lead guitarist is, I think, the real standout performer of the group in terms of
technical ability. They are just that pretty and that talented.
Hey, good for them. Good for them.
All right. And we also had a hit replay from Stephanie, who couldn't join us for this episode, but sent in a recording, and she had this to say.
Hey, K-Pop cast. Wish I could be there with y'all. My hit replay this week is Simon Dominic featuring Loco, Pami Demyang, or Find the Mafia, if you watch the music video. Once again, AOMG does not disappoint. They came through with like a low, intimidating hip-hop beat, and it matches perfectly with the low light, dark, seedy set of the music video where they're playing like a real-life game of Mafia. And also layered on top of that, Simon Dominic's super low voice in his flow just all matches and creates that environment. I also want to shout out Loco, whose flow was perfect for this as well, and he's one of my favorite rappers. So I had such a great time listening to this song. It premiered last night, and I'm still dancing to it.
Yeah, and she also wanted to add that the English name of that song is At Night.
At Night. That was an amazing pick. Honestly, I never keep up with Simon Dominic, so whenever like he comes on my timeline or whatever, I love it. Like, his voice is just him saying so seductive did things to me when I was listening to that it's just like, oof, oh my god. It took me to another dimension.
Simon Dominic does have that effect on people, I've noticed.
밤이 되면 시작돼 이 게임은 so seductive Baby you can feel my pain 날이 밝은 후에 모두 쏟아졌지 밤이 되면 시작돼 이 게임은 so seductive Baby you can feel my pain 날이 밝은 후에 모두 쏟아졌지
Yeah, and then just combined with Loco, it's perfect. I don't know how I can top that, except with my hit replay for this week.
Nice transition, Michaela. Well done.
Very on the other end of the spectrum, my hit replay this week is An Yeon's Sailing. I've talked about An Yeon on the show before. She's this amazing artist that really mixes like traditional Korean pansori singing with pop, very normal pop styles. And this one is just okay, if you like 80s,
I do, yes.
You will like this because she comes at it with this like pirate sailing treasure epic, it's just all amazing. And it's the title track of her album, which has this whole theme of, going on a journey on a sailboat where, you're sailing, you're setting off, you're getting shipwrecked, just the ups and downs of basically dealing with all the struggles in life. So definitely check out the whole album, but definitely start with this song because it's amazing.
It's like the perfect blend of like when you take like a traditional or like quote unquote old genre and you try to like K-pop-ize it. Like it was great, and her vocal timbre was just like out of this world. I was like, how is she doing that with her throat? Oh my god,
she's amazing.
Yeah, she's known for that style, though, right? I mean, it's what she's carved her identity and career around. Yeah,
from the very beginning when she debuted on as a contestant on K-pop Star, like this was who she is as an artist. She mixes these traditional sounds with these pop or modern, I guess, sounding instrumentals.
Okay, those were our hit replays, but we also asked you, the listeners, what your hit replays were. And K-pop and RPGs in our Slack, actually, it really wasn't their hit replay, but they just had such an interesting comment that we just had to run with it anyway.
Yeah.
Really, this is the song that everyone is talking about just because it's so out there, and they went for it. They went there.
Oof.
And that song goes to, or the song is...
Only One of's Libido.
Libido, yes.
Yeah.
So I'll start it off by just quoting what K-pop and RPGs wrote.
Yeah.
How do I put this? Only One of released a very homoerotic music video, but it's well made and worth watching. I hope this helps them to get more attention. I was hoping for some clever lyrics that criticize queer baiting or shipping, or some pro-LGBTQ plus remarks, but it's just horny.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah, when I started watching it, I think I had my mouth open the entire time. Like I don't think I'm the person to speak on like queer and like gay baiting or anything like that, but like I was into it. I was like, okay. Only One of. I mean, they are known for like these riskier concepts, I guess, but this is like the first time that they like went for it. Like, it was just like they were like a millisecond away from like actually kissing.
Millisecond, a millimeter.
Millimeter.
I kind of wish they just went for it, honestly. They took it all the way. That would have been...
I know, right?
I don't know.
Enough with the baiting. Just give it to us.
Yeah. But maybe that's what keeps you coming back, because it doesn't quite complete. You don't quite climax.
Yeah, it's super just... It's this anticipation. There's never really a I don't know, a release. It's all just a build up.
Yeah. Yeah, so Twitter user Louis_Jong said, not really his hit replay either, but wanted to hear our thoughts on this because it looks like a French indie movie and quite loved the spicy concept. And going along, actually, K-pop and RPGs corrected himself a moment later, saying, well, actually, it turns out there is meaning behind this. So if you look at the description of the music video, Contained within the YouTube description is a small novella.
Yes.
That only describes the complex legacy and symbolism behind the story.
In true
of the music
only
video.
one of fashion.
Yeah.
I actually quite like it, to be honest. But like to this point of tension, quoting from their description, it shares the boy's impulsive mind through the expressions of Freud. The mind's energy libido is considered as a feeling that shouldn't be openly talked about in real life and should be concealed, so its existence is often denied. However, the more the boy tries to suppress his libido, the stronger it gets and the more impact it has on his subconscious.
It's just a lot. Like, I don't even remember the song. I don't remember the song, but I remember the music video.
I thought it was really like, you know, some K-pop music videos, they do a good or bad job of using props. I gotta commend the way they use the band as like S&M entertainment style prop throughout the entire music video.
I appreciated the almost crotch grab.
There's that one moment in the song where the snare hits really loudly, and that's where it goes whoosh, and he like grabs the crotch like just barely, and then he quickly moves his arm down the other boy's leg.
Imagine how many accidents must have happened, like rehearsing that part.
I really hope that, like, I don't know, like, does the sexuality of the performer matter? Like, I'm outside of my ability to comment either way. That's a question for you, the listeners. But like, that's what I'm wondering. Like,
yeah,
you know what?
How much does that matter?
What kept like going through my mind when I was watching this was that because I actually talked to only one of 2 years ago. Was it?
Oh, okay.
Or was
Give
it
us
last
the
year?
That was around their
Alexis.
debut. If it was like 2019.
It was for Dora Maar. Was that last year? Like, what is 2020 anyway? But anyway, I talked to them, and a little bit of tea is that they're the only group that I've ever. So their company asked me to if they could look at the article before it was published, which is a huge no-no, right? And the only reason that I complied, I mean, I did tell them like I can show it to you the final version that I'm submitting to my editor, but I won't let you like tell me to take out stuff or anything. But the only reason why I did that is because their concept, sorry, I cursed. Because their concept is so complicated that I was like, I do not want to mess this up. So if they want to proofread what I wrote about their concept and they want to be like, hey, this is wrong. Hey, you know, journalism does not have fact checkers anymore. So I was like, fine, on that end, I'll do it. But where was I going with this? Oh, yeah. Anyway, when we were talking about their concept, I didn't put it into my article because I didn't know what to make of what they said. But they were saying something about, because they did like a reality show or something where they would like date fans or something like that. I mean, it was probably an actress, but they told me that their concept was that they were their fans' boyfriends. And I was like, that's no. Like, I don't want to put that out of the, I mean, probably if you're their fan, you will know that or something. But I was like, I mean, I don't, you know, that line between like making people believe and someone actually telling me like, no, we want our fans to think that they're our girlfriends. I was like, nah, I don't like that. So that's what I kept thinking about when I was watching this music video.
Our girlfriends or our boyfriends?
Hey, I mean, gender fluid, I don't know. Exactly. Pansexuality. But that's what I kept thinking. I mean, I'm not going to say, you know, like, oh, like that's wrong or anything. But that's what I mean. Hey, if it works for them and people like it.
Yeah.
Do you, boo?
Right. Anyway, be sure to tweet us your thoughts on this comeback, or join us in our K-Popcast Slack. That's another place we're already talking about it with a lot of
hot discussions, hot takes.
Yeah. Maybe we can talk about it more in a future episode. But while we've got you, Alexis, any other like insider tea on the or scoops on the group?
On only one of, not that I can remember. I mean, comic relief. When I told them when I asked them like what they wanted to do in like 10 years or something, they told me what they wanted to do, and at the end it's like, oh, hopefully we can go to LA and we can meet you again. And I was like, no, I'll be so old by then. And they were like, oh, it's okay. Like our oldest member is old too. And I was like, I'm older. And they were like laughing. And it's like, don't laugh, please, don't laugh. But that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Well, thanks for that unique stories. But moving on to K-pop news, putting Alexis back on the hot mic again.
Hey.
Alexis, hey, we know that you spoke to the hottest girl group in the world right now, Brave Girls.
Yes. I did.
What was that like? Tell us about that interview.
I mean, it was different. It was new for me because it's a video interview. And I don't really do those. But hey, I mean, if I'm doing podcasts, why not, right? So it was interesting because I had to get up at like 5 a.m. And they were going to film it at like 11 o'clock their time, but it kept being delayed. Yeah. So they ended up, like sitting down with me until like midnight for them. And essentially, like, they told me that they hadn't slept, but I felt so bad, but also I'm like, well, I mean, like I feel bad, but also like you're, it's like your moment right now, and they seemed in good spirits, even though, and also, I mean, I don't want to say that they're the nicest just because they called me pretty, but they're the nicest because they called me pretty.
Well, actually, the real story here is that Brave Girls thinks that Alexis is pretty. Yeah. Like, I want to write a headline on that. I want to see a few stories on just that.
I need that headline, please.
Yes.
K-Boos only.
Yes. But yeah, they were so nice, and they were in like good spirits, and one of the members does speak English, so that helps when you're doing an interview. But we did use a translator also, and they all got their input, and they're like very, very thankful to the fans. And I'm not saying that it's not common in K-pop, everyone's always talking about their fans, but I feel like this is like one of those instances where it's true, because if it weren't for if it weren't for all the soldier fans, and like that was one of my questions, like what is it like to perform in these military bases and like in front of like a bunch of like screaming men, like what is that like? And it was a positive, everything is like a positive experience for them. Like even if you go and watch the videos, like they seem like they're hyped, they are receiving that energy. So it was really cool. It was brief, but it was a cool experience. I really liked talking to them, and they were just like, oh yeah, like hopefully we'll see you in person. And I'm like, hopefully. But
see you in LA in 10 years.
See you, yeah, in 10 years on the pandemic. But yeah. And also it just felt really good to like be speaking to, like women. I think I told them that I was like, thank you for be representing for like the Hag fans. Like and
yeah. Wait, tell us more about that, Alexis. Like what is it like that, just covering K-pop, it's always speaking to boy groups or Ayo girls, or what is it that sets them apart and being more authentic and genuine?
Well, I think just I feel like Brave Girls is, like this group of like, it's like a type of group, a bygone group in K-pop, like the EXIDs, the AOAs, like that's, that chapter, like we already we're not with that anymore. And I don't remember who I was talking to about this recently, but like, you know, going, you know, like going viral and going number one on like every chart and stuff. And, you know, I'm going to fuck up this name. La Boom?
Yeah, you know, yeah.
They're also kind of having like a little moment. So I feel like maybe it's the general public wanting that kind of like fun K-pop, you know, because now like all like idol music is very catered to like their fan base, and especially the boy groups. Like I mean, I'm a boy group stan, and I can tell you that they're all the same at this point. They're very similar. They're all doing SF9 now, and you know, girl groups want to do like that middle point of like girl crush, but still kind of cute. So so I think Brave Girls, you know, going viral and having a hit with like a very refreshing like summer song, like that's legit. That takes me back to like 2015, 2014, you know, when like we still had those kinds of groups. And like, okay, it's not as sexy as it was at the beginning, but still, like when you see that song being performed, even if they have the little, like they're even performing in like the uniforms, like military-ish uniforms, and like that's also from like a bygone K-pop era. So I feel like that's, yeah, it's kind of like a throwback moment, and they're like older and they're getting their flowers finally. It's really cool to see, you know. It's not all about being young.
It's redemption.
I asked them about that also. I don't remember what they said, but I asked them.
They said something eloquent, intelligent, insightful, nuanced.
Yes.
I'm sure that's exactly what they said. Yeah. Yeah. On that note of the trend of like Aegyo, girl crush, and like, you know, the middle of that spectrum, I think, yeah, you're absolutely right, Alexis. I think there's like new territory for that, and people are carving it out. Like most notably, I'm thinking of Luna Solar's Da Da Da. Like that seems like it's really trying to tread both worlds.
Yeah.
Of that right now. Just for example.
Yeah. That's where it's at.
Okay.
Now.
Well, next news headline. There is a heroic. What is this?
Hiroki's Fabula at K-pop.
What does that mean, Michaela?
It's the epic history of K-pop.
Oh yeah, K-pop Evolution, the YouTube documentary. It's a multi-part series. I recommend watching it if you've got YouTube Premium. I do. And Tamar Herman and Bernie are both on it. It was really cool. I messaged them after. I'm like, hey, you guys did great. But one thing I was talking to them both about what they thought of the documentary was Heartfelt, and how Bernie said she's got the first word of the first episode and the last word of the last episode. And Tamara added saying like, yeah, she's the only one like dropping real tea on the industry. So I recommend watching the doc if you can.
Share the password, Peter. Yeah, Share the password.
Yeah, I'll just give my password to the entire universe.
Don't let Stephanie know.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Whoops. All right. And in next news headlines, war. What is it good for?
Yeah. So if you haven't heard, the Kingdom Legendary War is happening as we speak. Episodes 1 and 2 have aired, and
hey, jumping in, spoilers ahead. If you haven't seen the latest episode of The Kingdom, tune out for the next 15 seconds. You've been warned.
Right now, Stray Kids is reigning number 1 in the ranking, above, I believe it's The Boys.
Thank you for the spoiler, Michaela.
Oh my God! See, I just assumed that.
Spoiler here. We're gonna post-production. We're gonna put in a beginning spoiler and spoiler. No. So now here's the end of the spoiler. Okay, end of the spoiler warning. Go ahead, Michaela.
Well, I don't even know where to pick up from that.
Well, that doesn't really help me, right? I'm kidding. I mean, it was expected.
Yeah, but I don't know. Speaking of everybody doing SF9, it is really interesting seeing, like BTOB, who has a very different style from all the other younger groups compared to ATEEZ, Stray Kids, The Boys. And it's, you see very unique styles in the older three groups, and then the lower three groups are kind of, I don't know, they feel like the same kind of thing. It's the intense, theatrical, dark concept. Mm-hmm. I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
I've only watched one episode because they haven't subbed the second, or I haven't found it yet. But what stood out to me was iKON. Like that first performance that they did, they obviously did not know what they were going into. So they tried to like one up themselves in the second one. They're like, okay, now we got it. But it's like, when you think about YG groups, you don't really think about like those epic stages, like performances like that. Like
unless it's Mama and they're doing like a version of it. Yeah.
But even then, it's like, why I hate using this word, but like, YG artists have like, this like persona, this swag or whatever. And that's their forte. And iKON wanted to come in.
They're not known for having the they're not
like
known
the
for having the very
choreography.
It's known for being a little messy, a little bit like just free flowing.
Yeah. Like everyone having like, one of the comments that I don't remember who did it, but it stood out to me that like someone said like, oh, like Bobby, like he's smiling, and you don't really see that from like fun. You don't see that. You don't see them having fun ever, like boy groups on stage or whatever, because they're performing and they're like, in the character or whatever. And so that's been interesting for me, and I feel like if any of you guys, anyone watch Road to Kingdom, I feel like that's kind of like the position where Pentagon was in at the beginning, where they just came in and they were like, well, we're at the sun base, we, like we're gonna do our little thing, and then like the young ones just like absolutely killed it and like took it to like level 10, and they're like, oh damn, we have to like get there. And the little theatrical thing that iKON did was cute, but I feel like they're getting eaten alive right now.
Yeah.
Performance wise, like voting wise,
like,
that'll be different.
Yeah.
But it's fun.
Yeah.
It's been fun.
It's fun. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, like, when I look at the boys' performance, when they have like all of this production value and like and story and things, I do go back to that difference of I do enjoy the iKON performances more because it looks like they're having fun. It looks like they're more relaxed. You see that the fact that they are Sundays and they've been performing for so long, it's more, I guess, relaxed. When I'm watching the boys, it's more of a stress because I'm like, oh no, what are they gonna do next?
Especially hope they don't get hurt. That footage that they put in about like that one kid always f***ing up. I mean, always messing up. I was like, I didn't even know that he was I mean, the one when on Road to Kingdom when he like takes the crown, like that one was apparent, but I wouldn't have known like half of those mistakes had they not put it on blast like that. But that's what Mnet does for their narrative arcs. But yeah, I mean, I really like BTOB because honestly, when BTOB was announced, I was like, what are they gonna do on that show? But it's been refreshing to see like them, like they're not trying to like compete. Well, not compete, but they're not trying to like be what the rookies are.
Yeah,
like
they're not conforming.
Yeah, like they're just, like enhancing who they are. They're singing the little ballads, but they're creating like these very dramatic performances, and I think that's cool. Like I've liked to see that so far. And yeah, poor SF9.
Maybe we should have you back to talk about the next episode next week.
Hey, I mean, I already have a residency here.
Okay, yes. And in Crouching Dragon news, Big Bang's G Dragon talks about his artistic worldview, working on new music and more. In the Day's 13th anniversary edition, G-Dragon talked about how he's writing music with Big Bang in mind. So they're coming back eventually.
That just made my day yesterday when I read it on Twitter, because it's like I have not allowed myself to get my hopes up on, the Big Bang front. But him saying that, I allowed myself to get my hopes up. And it's just like, oh my God, I can smell it now. Like, I can smell it now. I need it so bad.
I really wonder what like Big Bang in 2021 or 2022 is going to sound like, because they're not the same people anymore. They're a different group.
Yeah, and the landscape has changed so much.
Yeah.
So much. So I'm just very eager. Like, I want this to happen already.
Yep. All right. Well, that concludes our hit replay for the 4th week of March. Let our listeners know where they can find you each on Twitter. So, Alexis, kick us off.
You can find me on Twitter and on Instagram at HOE_DOYAN. I just talk all day. I don't know. Have some articles coming up. Hopefully, the Brave Girls one. Not sure when it's coming out, but it's coming out soon. So check that out. And yeah.
And Michaela, she dropped from internet bandwidth, so I'm just going to speak on her behalf. You can find Michaela at MichaelaJKpop on Twitter. I'm at DJ Pierlo, and you can tweet at all of us at the K-Popcast. But you know what's better than just tweeting at us? Your hot takes and your reactions to this episode and the news items we're talking about. A voice memo. So if you use your phone and you go to if you've got an iPhone, you just go to the voice memos app, you record your voice talking, you can send that in. We'll love to drop you right into this episode. So it's like you're a host right along with us. We love doing that. Anyway. And lastly, if you want to come make some new friends, you can join us in the K-Popcast Slack. You can find a link to the Slack space in the description of this episode. And Alexis, we brute forced you into our Slack, so thank you for joining.
Yeah, I'm a rookie there also.
Rookie there. Okay, well, I'm trying to think, are there rookie access and privileges in terms of how they're allowed to navigate the label company building?
I mean, you tell me. I'm the trainee here.
Yeah, no rules at the K-Popcast Studios building. It's a janky studio is what we're using, so we're renting it out. We don't own it. Okay, last word, Alexis. Any final words? Anything you want to end on?
Yeah, someone explain Libido to me, please.
And with that, we'll look at you all next week.